Hey everyone, welcome to a bona fide outside tour. We are in Mammoth Lakes, California. We've been snowboarding the past couple of days. There's a little rain predicted for today, so we wanted to drive out, find a little secluded spot, and give you a tour of the rig that we've been in. This is the Fleet Slide-In by 4-Wheel Campers, and it is sitting on the back of a 2022 Toyota Tacoma. Check it out. I almost fell over. Starting with the truck itself, there have been a lot of upgrades done. Eric actually picked it up in Seattle stock and then took it to Mule Expedition Outfitters. He did a whole video of all of the upgrades they did, as well as the camper installation. If you want to check that out, you can see it here, but let's do a quick walkthrough of all of the upgrades on the truck. Up front, we have an upgraded bumper. It's made of aluminum, so it's super lightweight, and it holds the come-up winch and some upgraded lighting. Coming around the side, this mid-sized truck was fitted with some much bigger off-road tires. They actually had to cut some of the wheel wells so that it would fit. And additionally, and most importantly, in the front and the rear, there were huge suspension upgrades. The original payload of the truck is about 900 pounds. The camper empty alone weighs about 1,400, so there needed to be a lot of suspension upgrades. This included the leaf springs, the airbags, the shocks, and the sway bar. Sun's coming out. That feels so good. Enough about the truck. Let's move on to the camper itself. I love 4-wheel campers, how they pop up and down. It's obviously right now in the low profile pop down. We'll show you how that works later. But when it is down, I love how it looks. It's also great for fuel efficiency, for drag on the highway. You're a lot sleeker, your center of gravity is lower, and obviously you have way better clearance. There's lots of little bells and whistles out here. We have our clips, that's how you secure the pop top. We have a huge awning, and one of the things I love about these is their exterior lighting. There's some on the side, underneath, and 2 huge LEDs in the back. We've got this huge window on the side. Coming around the back, we have a full spare tire on a swing arm. You swing it open, and that's how you access the inside of the camper. Over here, we have brackets. These are actually mounted on all 4 corners of the slide-in. That's how you install and uninstall it from your truck. But on this one, they have the shovel axe combo, which is cool and also very handy. These are steps that you use to access the roof. The LED lights that I mentioned earlier, and then here is storage for your propane. This holds 2 propane tanks, and this is a little input for an additional solar panel. Coming around the side, we have an exterior freshwater drain, which is a really nice handy thing to have on the outside. This is the compartment on the other side of our fridge. A little extra storage and some ventilation up top. This is our hot water heater, and above we have our 30 amp shore power. Coming over here, one of my favorite features on the outside is this little guy. It's a plug-in for the exterior shower that has hot and cold water. We went to some hot springs last night and showered off with this afterwards, which was so nice. This is the gray water outlet. There's an attachment that you can plug into it and then drain everything and put it into a bag.
Looks like we had some water in there.
Oopsies. This is the outlet for the propane heater, and here is our inlet for water, for fresh water. You can either fill it up with a hose, or if you're at a campsite, you can pack it up for just continuous fresh water. We haven't actually needed a campsite yet. We're out here in Mammoth. There's tons of boondocking spots, and we've been just fine off the grid. Wrapping up the exterior of the camper, we have the roof. It's outfitted with these adjustable Yakima racks. They're very low profile and easy to use. Earlier in the week, we had them spaced far apart so that we could throw our surfboards up here. Now you can see we've shifted them together to hold our snowboards. We also have 2 full fans up here and a large solar panel. We'll get into more of that when we go inside the camper. Let's pop the top and check it out. Come on in. All right, welcome inside. For reference, I'm about 5'9". I've got a good amount of headroom in here when this is popped, and it's pretty roomy. For a general layout of the camper, we have a nice seating area over here that converts into a bed. We have a counter space over here, and as you can see in the front, we have our bedding area. We'll go over everything in detail so you can see it up close. Let's start with the features on the ceiling. There are 4 dimmable LED strips all around the roof of the camper. You can tap it and then hold it down to adjust the lighting. These 2 fans are full service, so you just press a button and they whip on. You can do one pulling air in and one pushing air out. Creates kind of a nice draft vortex effect, and works really well to cool everything down. On the sides of the camper, we have what they call the thermal pack. So it has multiple layers, starting with the screen. You can line it with clear plastic so you can see outside if you don't want to draft. Cover this up, and then the last section works as really good insulation. Being up here in the cold, we've been really thankful to have that. And when it's warm during the day, you can take them all down and you can see all of your surroundings. The bed is currently a full-size bed, but as you can see with the tracks over here, it actually pulls all the way out into a full king-size bed. We have extra cushions hidden back here. You just throw those up to turn it into a king. And that's a really nice option, just in case maybe you're on a slant. You can put your head in any direction when it's a king-size bed. But we've generally been keeping it a queen at night. So you can pull it out to right here and still be able to utilize the sink when you want it. Previously, when we've slept in a 4-wheel camper, we brought sleeping bags. This time we opted to bring all of our bedding, and then in the morning we just make the bed, lay it nice and flat, and it's ready as soon as we pop the top. This side of the camper is complete with this little cubby storage up top. We've been using it for personal items, and down below the bench seat are 2 large storage compartments. When this folds out, the way it folds out, first of all, is really cool. But when it is completely done, it turns into about a full-size bed. And once everything's down, you have a really great view of the large side window. On this side of the camper is our counter space. As you can see here, this is kind of like a standing desk height. You have your mini fridge here, and then this box is where the propane is stored. We have a 2-burner propane stove here, and then a sink. It's great that they're inlaid into the countertop because when they're not in use, they both fold down and you have some workable space. We have all of these switches here for the interior and exterior lighting. This top one is for the bottom light. That's been really nice to have on in the evenings just so you can see everything, kind of some good ambiance lighting. Up here we have our 12-volt reader so you can keep an eye on the solar. Below is our propane heater. And when you think of propane, you think of condensation, but the way that this one works, it heats up air in a separate unit and then blows it in. So it actually keeps the condensation to a minimum. Of course, you do need to kind of crack a window. We've been cracking the fan. That kind of helps keep everything in control. And last night we had it running all night long and woke up to very minimal condensation. Up top, we have a drawer for cutlery. This is our main storage that we've been using for our dry foods, our pots and pans and plates, all that good stuff. Down below, we have a converter, all of our fuses, and then a main power kill switch. In this compartment, we have a potato. Moving over here in this last cubby, this is where the water pump lives. At night, we've just been keeping this door open with the heat on to make sure that warm air is getting in there. And all of these doors have a little latching mechanism to keep everything secure while you're driving. Here is where you can turn on your AC power, and the outlets are down here. Up top, we have a DC and USB dual chargers. When this is on, you can see your readout, which is great. The way that these charge is either from the solar panel that we showed you earlier on the roof of the camper, or the batteries that are down here are connected to the truck batteries, so when it's driving, it'll charge. Here's our thermostat. It's just a little simple sliding thermostat. We've been keeping it like 60 degrees in here at night. And lastly, this final switch is for the water pump. So that concludes our tour, but before we leave you, we do want to wrap up with a couple final thoughts about the fleet and truck combo. We've put about 2,000 miles on this thing, and it's been great, but we do have a couple things we want to touch on. First off, popping the top, especially if you have gear up there like two big heavy surfboards, is not super easy. It's not like a push a button and you're done. You do need to get in here and actually physically lift it up, and it's not super easy. So if you're thinking about buying this, just be aware you're gonna need to be able to physically do that. Second of all, when you get out of the truck, if I were to use this long term, I would want some kind of step attachment onto the hitch, because currently Eric and I have just been stepping onto the hitch to get down. It's not a super long drop, but we have both slipped, and when you do, it's not pretty. Things that we really like about this truck camper combo. First off, the truck being a mid-size model is great to get around town. It's really mobile, especially coming from a 23-foot school bus. This feels very sleek and easy to maneuver. So also with it being a mid-size truck, you can only have so big of a camper on the back. I think that the way that the space is utilized back here couldn't be any better. It flows really well, and just the organization of everything is on point. Lastly, I really appreciate that this turns into another bed. If we wanted to bring another couple along on a trip with us, for example, we probably wouldn't be able to cook in here and hang out all at the same time, but I'm very confident that when it came to sleeping, 4 people could be in here comfortably. Big thank you to 4-Wheel Campers. If you're interested in seeing this model more up close or any other models, check out 4wheelcampers.com or find them on the medias, and we will see you guys next time. Bye guys! See you next time. Oh, and thanks for watching.